return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. I'm from Jerusalem, hey, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. Sitting on the album that'll change my life. Should I?
Hello family, welcome back to Stepping Stones to Home. I'm Brother Tour.
I'm Moshi.
How y'all been? Good, I hope. I hope y'all week has been better than ours.
Y'all, we thought we was gonna die in Moshi.
Like die.
Literally, cease to exist. Die.
Wait. Multiple occasions.
Yes.
You think it was a sign from the Lord, don't go there?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Or you think we just make the enemy mad?
No. So we have to tell you guys, I don't know whether this is funny, but we have to tell you guys.
She's still recovering.
Literally, the story of Moshi. There were ups and downs, amazing times, and not so good times.
So you guys, in the other videos, you saw about all the fun time we had while we were in Moshi. This one, this is the stuff that you didn't see that was off camera.
Yes. So, where to begin? First, we got to Moshi. Well, I'll say on our way to Moshi. I'm so thankful for the people we went with. Love them. They're very dear to us. We're thankful for nephew driving us there.
Yes.
But nephew drove a little bit too fast for me. But, you know, I'm thankful that we got there safely by the grace of the Most High God. So our first day in Moshi, we got there, we just kind of saw Moshi City, Moshi Town rather. However, we were staying in a house that was up the mountains in rural Moshi.
Yeah, it was up on one of the branches of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes. So that was nice, going around seeing the city and everything. Then day 2 comes and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do today? So there was a suggestion from, not from you.
We know that one. Oh, no, the other one was me. Sorry.
Yes, day 2 is a suggestion from one of our dear sisters to go to this little tour where you can go and walk to a waterfall. And we're like, cool, you know, we'd love to go see a waterfall.
A waterfall, y'all.
A waterfall.
In Africa, in
Right?
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Who wouldn't want to see that, right? So we drive there. Her cousin drives us there. And so we drive up this mountain, we get out, we sign in and everything, and they tell us, you are
1169
feet above sea level.
Yes.
Starting out. He says, but it's going to be a 45-minute walk to the waterfall. Cool. He gives us our little hiking sticks. We take off.
Feeling like our people back in the day,
Right?
walking through the land.
So it was amazing as we started out. So we're walking probably about 20 minutes into the walk.
Yeah. Beautiful view. Beautiful view.
And I look up ahead and I stop. I say, wait a minute. Hold on. We going that way? So y'all, the mountain basically breaks off and the big old path we were walking on narrows to like 18-20 inches wide. No lie. Cliffside right here, straight drop on the other side.
What was the fun thing that had happened earlier that day that made it even more treacherous while we were out there?
Right, so it rained the day before.
Moshi is known for its mud.
Yes, during rainy season. So it's muddy on the path. You know, thank the Most High had just bought some shoes because
normally she wears sandals.
Normally I wear sandals. And Take over from here. What happened?
So, because it was real traumatic for Isha G, y'all.
Yes.
So, let me tell y'all why this was traumatic. It was a beautiful view. Isha G does not like heights. Okay?
And I definitely don't like heights when it's a sheer drop right next to me and there's nowhere for me to go.
So, what you're saying is you were not trying to meet the Most High.
I was not.
Oh.
You know, I was not. He didn't tell me it was my time.
So, y'all, we are literally walking in some places down to this waterfall on the side of the mountain, like she said. And like it started off like this.
Yeah.
And then it went down to something like this. And we're walking, there's mud, we slipped a couple times. We're trying to, you know, but I'm trying to stay strong. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little worried up there. Now, it didn't affect me the way it did Isha G. I know we're laughing about it now. Isha G was about in tears, y'all. You know?
Yeah. It was crazy. And we were tracking up, higher and higher up this mountain. Now, I know y'all probably saying, well, why you ain't just go back? Well, I had gone so far, and he said it was 45 minutes. So I'm like, we got to be almost there, right?
Wait, 45 minutes turned into how long?
It took us almost 2 hours to get to this waterfall.
Waterfall was beautiful.
And it's not because we're walking slow, because they take tourists on this little track like all the time.
Right.
So it took almost 2 hours to get to this waterfall.
Y'all, there were certain places that the rain from earlier in the day had washed part of the path out. So you had to make your way around the other side. Now, going around the other side meant going up an embankment like this that's even smaller than the one that you're on. So the tour guide, he had to help Isha G in the front. He's holding her hand, pulling her from the front. I'm standing behind her, holding her back, so to make sure she don't fall back on me and then I fall off, you know, and then it'll be stepping stones to home. This is Isha G. You know, but it got to a point where, you know, all jokes aside, my wife was scared, y'all, and she couldn't go any further.
I was terrified.
Yes.
By the time we got to the waterfall, we could see it really good. But to go down to the waterfall, the path got even smaller. At that point,
she was done.
I was done. You told me 45 minutes, it's almost 2 hours. The waterfall, you didn't even tell me we were going to be walking on terrain like this, a path like this. I was done. And then to have to walk on a smaller path, Isha G was finished. And I was ready to go.
And so once you said I'm done, and I went down and got the other footage of the what began to happen while we were up there?
So once I said I was done, still the tour guide and the lady that we were with, they went down to the waterfall. He would not leave me. You know, I told him he could go ahead. I would be okay, just standing there.
Man, my wife is sitting there shaking. Look, her eyes, y'all see the big beautiful eyes, was full of water, okay?
But
I couldn't just walk away, even though I wanted to get the footage.
I know, but I really wanted him to get to the waterfall because...
Listen, as a man, I'm supposed to make my wife feel secure. So I stayed with her. The guide was kind enough to get some footage of the waterfall for me. So the footage that y'all saw of the waterfall on the other video, that was our tour guide. That wasn't me.
Yes, thank you, Christian.
Yes.
So while they're down there, what do I start to feel? Rain.
So it wasn't the windows of heaven pouring down?
And it wasn't the waterfall. It was rain. It started raining, drizzling, I'll say that. It wasn't a downpour, but it started to drizzle. And like my horror just went out the roof. And at this time, I'm yelling like, no, y'all need to come back right now. I'm telling the people we need to go. We got to get off this mountain.
No, she didn't yell. She's screaming, y'all need to come on now. Look, she went straight gangster. She went straight third ave from Pompano.
So the only thing I could think of was to pray. So I started praying. I'm like, Most High, please hold this rain back until we get off this mountain. And what happens? Right after I prayed, the rain stopped. And so the reason why I prayed for the rain to be held up, because it was already muddy and it was a lot of places that were very slippery and everything. And walking on almost complete vertical incline and everything. So we didn't need the pathways to be even muddier. So we had that.
Yeah. So fast forward now past the coffee ceremony that you guys saw on the video. Let's talk about what happens after that. So now we're done shooting video, thanking them for everything. We're like, do we have to go back on that same path? And he was like, oh no, there's a shortcut right through here. So we're like, cool, because now Isha G has already told them it's getting dark, I don't want to walk on that path in the dark. So we're leaving and we're like, okay, cool, there's a little path right here we're going. And we start to notice as we go up, we start going up again. And there is nothing on the side.
It's literally worse than the other path because it's a shorter path, much shorter. But the path literally that you have to walk on, it's like it's wide as a stick, like a branch off a tree, maybe like 6 inches.
Right.
And a sheer drop once again.
The shorter path is not always the best path to go on.
No. So literally, I am so terrified at this time. The tour guide, he literally has to pull me up the mountain to get back to the tarmac because I literally could barely move, y'all.
She was just about frozen where she was standing.
Yes. And so the tour guide and all these people, it's actually a village in the mountains.
Yes.
So they're used to walking this. They walk it every day. So it's nothing to them.
And they doing it with no flashlights. So, you know,
yes, no flashlights, flip flops.
Hold on, let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. We city people, y'all. We city people. You know, we not mountain people.
We're not mountain
I know
people.
our people lived in the mountains in the past. You know, when trouble came, our people fled to the mountains. Look, 400 years, y'all got to remember.
We're far removed.
We're far removed from that.
So
I need a flashlight to go up because I can't see. You know.
Right, and then the soil was jet black, so
and it was muddy and not our friend at all.
So, by the way, something Mr. here forgot to tell me. He didn't tell me till the next day, which I do understand. What happened on that path that night?
So, I'm walking up. So, there's the tour guide, Isha G, and one of the sisters that's with us. And now she grew up in that area. So, first of all, she was out there with some Sunday church shoes on. And she was doing better than us. Okay, I don't even understand that one. But, so we get to this one point where it's just you got to go up. And so as you're going, you need to keep your momentum. Right? My foot is already sliding. I go to get up. She stops and turns around. And I'm like, oh, so I slip. In the staff that I'm walking with, I hurry up and dig it into the ground and catch myself and get my footing back right. And then we go on. But of course, I wasn't going to tell her that because, like I said, she was just about frozen from fear.
Yes. So we make it to the car and off the mountain. I was so glad to be off that mountain.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Literally, if you do something like that, you have to be mentally prepared. And you need to be physically prepared. Because I didn't know we were going on a walk like that. I thought we were just going on a nice walk to see a waterfall.
Right. You know, 45 minutes should be like just around the corner.
So, we go ahead and we go home. Her cousin.
No, we didn't go home. We were going home.
Right, we were going home. Her cousin takes us. Now, the previous day, something happened to the car that we traveled in to go up to Moshi. So they had to take it to the repair shop, which they call a fundi.
Yes.
And so we had to go pick up the car. So we go to pick up the car, but she has to pick her sister up from the bus station. And so her sister's gonna be there in like 45 minutes. So instead of us waiting, she says, why don't you guys go ahead with my cousin, let him take you home, and we'll meet you guys there. So we're like, okay, cool. Y'all, it starts pouring down rain. Pouring down rain.
No. It was torrential, hurricane category 4.
It was not raining that bad, babe. It was downpouring now, but it was not like a hurricane or a tropical.
No, I'm not saying the winds, but the type of rain that comes down.
It was coming down really hard. So her cousin, we call him Uncle, right?
Yes.
He's driving. Where are you driving?
It's an old Toyota Corolla manual. Remember, over here, everything's on the right side. So it's a right side drive manual, right? So the car sat about this far off the ground. And he is getting it, going up this mountain to where we were staying in the mountains. And literally he's drifting around the curves because his tires aren't good. And there's a strip, just a sheer drop on the side. So we doing this racing in the car. Like,
granted, the roads were a lot wider, but still, it wasn't wide enough to be driving how I thought he should have been driving.
What you told Uncle?
I say, Uncle, wait, hold it.
Which means slowly.
And so Uncle thinks it's just funny. He's laughing because they're used to driving like this in these conditions. So I know he knew what he was doing, but for me, I was scared.
Everything that had just happened, she still hadn't come down from what just happened on the mountain.
So we get to the entrance where we go into the neighborhood.
Yeah, because we were staying in a village there, and it was a muddy embankment we had to go up. Now, when we first got there, it had rained earlier, so we first arrived there in an SUV. Yeah. The SUV had a hard time getting over this embankment. Now we in this little car.
But the SUV was 4-wheel drive, so we got up first time.
So now in a manual, you're going up the hill, you give it some gas. So I understood why he was gunning it. Problem was, look, he hit that embankment and slid right back down. Hit the embankment, slid right back down. Problem with the sliding back down was, right here was the side of the cliff. So he kept ending up back tires right at the end of the cliff. So we said, stop. We gonna get out right here. And he's like, in the rain?
We're like,
yes.
It's okay. We'll be all right.
So,
we got out and we walked about maybe like a quarter of a mile to the house in the mud.
Yes.
Slipping. We did not fall. Thank you to the Most High. But it was like a river of muddy water that we were walking through until we got to the house.
Yes.
And so I was shaking the whole time from the mountain all the way until literally after I took a shower. Because I went right in and took a hot shower after that. And after I took my shower, I drank some tea, sat down by the fireplace, and I stopped shaking.
So we thought everything was cool. Her blood pressure went down. She started speaking to me again because I'm the one that took her there. So
no, he's the one that didn't suggest us turning back earlier.
So the next day rolls around. We go to shoot our footage that you guys saw in another video about King Mangameli, because we were in his village at the time. That's where we were staying. And so we ran a couple errands at the top of the mountain. So we're back in that same car again. Because the car wasn't done yet. They had to end up taking it back to the fundi, the repairman. So the uncle came, left us his car. So one of the sisters that we were with, she was like, yeah, I can drive the stick. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we're in the car. Listen, we're coming. After we're done, she says, y'all want to go to town and eat, or you want to go back to the house and eat? So I wanted to get some more footage of the town. So I'm like, let's go to town and eat. So we're heading down the hill.
The mountain. We're headed down the mountain.
It was a hill.
It was not. So their house sits on a part of Mount Kilimanjaro. It is a mountain.
All right, let me be serious. We're coming down the mountain. And I noticed we're starting to pick up speed. So now we're realizing the car is out of control. And we're coming down this mountain. You look through the window, the front windshield, and you just see this curve coming up. And at the rate of speed that we're traveling, the car is not going to be able to turn. So we're, up like this, screaming, hit the brake! So she's driving, her sister's in the front seat, I'm here, Isha G is on this side. We're like, hit the brake! So now listen, my military training kicks in. I'm thinking there's a little ditch over here. All right, I'm about to jump into the front and grab this wheel and pull the car to go over to this little ditch. Look, yes, it was gonna hurt. It was probably gonna be like whiplash, maybe a couple broken bones, but we were gonna be alive. You know, that's what I was believing because I'm praying. And at the same time that I'm thinking this. So I'm preparing myself to jump into the front, and out the corner of my eye, what do I see? Isha G done opened up the door of the car, and she trying to jump out. So now I'm trying to grab her.
I was not trying to jump out at that point.
No.
I was waiting.
Let me tell y'all why this was bothering me, because as we were going down, when we first lost control, there was a truck in front of us, okay? And so she was trying to stop the car, but the car wouldn't stop. So she's blowing the horn to tell the truck to get out the way. So the truck gets out the way. As we're going by, the truck driver sees us screaming, hit the brake, hit the brake. And so we're all thinking that the brakes have gone out on the car and we're about to fly off this mountain. So look, Tanzanians, let me tell y'all something. All I do is I hear this truck coming. This man is coming down the mountain in the truck, getting it. He's trying to catch up to us to try to, I don't know if he was trying to get in front of us or what, but I knew he was right behind the car, and all I know is I look over as I'm getting ready to jump in the front, her door's open. She's trying to time her jump out the car.
Look, the only thing I didn't see no truck, y'all. But what I was thinking.
What did you see?
What I was thinking at this time is I see this cliff up here, and so if she does not stop this car in time, I'm gonna take my chances jumping out this car versus flying off a mountain.
Y'all heard what she said? She was gonna take her chances. Now I'm thinking about everybody in the car with me trying to be heroic and stuff, you know, but nah, her, she like, I'm out. I'm leaving a tour right here in this car. I'm leaving everybody in this car. I'm just gonna jump out, tumble a little bit, get some scratches. Wasn't even thinking about, y'all, we've been married going on 19 years, and she not even thought about me once. She was like, ooh, I'm saving myself.
No, I was thinking he would have been thinking the same thing, like, get out the car.
Ladies, in the comments, let me know if you would have left your husband sitting in the car too.
I wasn't the only one about to jump out the car. Her sister had her door open and she was about to jump out the car too.
Yeah, she was about to leave her own sister in the car. So. But, like I said, during this whole ordeal, we are praying, like, Most High, please do something. So let me tell y'all what happened. The brakes did not go out on the car. She does know how to drive a manual, but it's been a long time. So for all of my manual drivers, you know you got your clutch, your brake, and your accelerator. She was hitting the clutch. And she thought the brakes went out because she's pressing. Nothing's happening. And I kind of felt, that's why I started screaming, hit the brake, because I kind of felt she was hitting the clutch. Turns out that was it. Now let me tell y'all really quickly how we know the Most High was with us. Not just because she finally found the brake. While this whole thing happened, the front tire blew out. Now this car had to be going at least 80 miles an hour. And that tire blew, and the car did not shake or anything. It should have begun to tumble and roll the way it happened. And the Most High was with us. So we just want to give him the glory and the honor for that. You know, so Moshi was wild. Wait, did anything else happen?
Well, so after that,
wait, there's more?
She was able to hit the brakes and she pulled over. Now where she pulled over, it was just a very slight gradual slope, and it was houses on the other side. So we literally stopped.
Just in time.
Just in time, because after that spot was the curve and the cliff.
Yes.
So it was definitely the Most High. So after that, I was like, get me out of this car.
The same car that we got out of and walked the other night before, now we got out again and walked back to the house.
Because I didn't know that she was hitting the clutch. I thought the brakes had went out. I didn't find out until
she calmed down.
The next day, I think, that it wasn't the brakes. But at this time, I'm like in tears, and I'm just like, I just almost lost my life. And so I'm like, I'm not getting back in this car. I'm done. And so we walked back to the house, probably about 1.5 miles up the mountain, and we did not leave the house for the rest of the day, or the entire day.
Right.
So
then it's the last day of our Moshi trip, and we're heading back. Now, coming to Moshi, we passed a national park. And so I was like, man, it'd be cool to go see some animals. You know, we're in Africa, why not? And so they remembered that when we were going back, and they were like, well, let's stop there on the way. So we're like, cool. So we get there, we get in, we start going. First of all, they gave us a tour guide. First, he had no gun. He had no walkie-talkie. There was no signal for the phone, and we're in our own car, okay? Hey, look, y'all.
Thankfully, it was an SUV,
Yes.
a large SUV. So,
But wait, so this man is not saying anything to us, describing how long the park has been there, giving us any history. He's like us, like a little kid in the candy store looking at animals like, ooh.
right, when we say, oh, look at the zebras, he's turning looking like, oh, where?
Like, you're the tour guide.
Like,
You're supposed to be telling us. So we're going through, seeing beautiful animals. We start to see them. They finally come out. And we're like, cool. I'm like, you know, how can we see some more animals? And he's like, well, there's a dam that we can go to where all the animals go to drink. So we're like, yeah, let's go there, because we wanted to see some lions. So we start heading towards the dam.
Hold on. Now, granted, in my head, the sun is starting to set. And so in my head, I'm like, now all y'all want to go to this dam, and y'all see the sun is starting to set. We need to get out the park. But they want to go to the dam to see some more animals.
So we get ready to pull up to the dam, and guess what? Here comes that rain again.
Pouring down rain. So hard. Ain't no animals at the dam. Because guess what? They ain't got to go drink there because water everywhere else.
So now we're like, you know what? It is what it is. It's too dark. So how do we get back to the front gate? He like, oh, we go this way right here. We're like, okay, cool. How long is it going to take to get to the gate? 2 hours is what he tells us. We're like, what?
Hours. And the sun is setting in a park with lions, all kind of hyenas, all kind of predators, and we got to go 2 hours to the gate. So we was like, nah, bro.
So he was like, well, we can go the other way, which will only take about 45 minutes. Cool. So we back up. Two reasons we back up. The road that goes for the 2 hours is muddy. The SUV is sliding everywhere. So we slowly back up and go back to the other road. Now, granted, there is a rope across the road, but it's laid down on the ground. He's the tour guide. He's supposed to know what I'm about to tell you. So we go on past that. The road is out.
It's closed. It's not out. It's literally, they have it blocked with boulders. So there is no way around these boulders, you know. So once again, we have to back all the way back up. Because we couldn't turn around because it was so muddy.
Right.
If you went close to the edge, that's where it was like puddles of mud, and so we would get stuck. So we had to literally kick it in reverse all the way back until we could back up to one road to turn to go back the way we came into the park.
Yeah. So we're heading out, going back the same way we came in, which was about an hour and 45-minute drive. But it was on a road we could actually drive on. So we're going, and we get to this one section, and we're looking, and we're like, man, look at all those zebras and antelopes over there. So we slow down just to kind of, you know, that's nighttime, but we can still see them because of the lights. So one of the people in the car with us, they happen to look over to their left, and they like, what's that? I just see eyes.
We see these glowing eyes.
And it's sitting real low.
Headed towards the animals. All of a sudden, all the animals
just
take out.
They take off.
And so we like, oh Lord, we know what this is, please. And so, so we punch it. We're gunning it through the national park, trying to hurry up and get back to the gate.
Right.
Because obviously the predators are out now hunting, and we're still in the park. And so we're driving so fast, it did not take us an hour and 45 minutes this time.
But wait. This is me in the back seat, y'all. Most High, please do not let a tire go flat on this car. I'm not getting out. I'm not changing no tire out here with no lions and hyenas and leopards. I'm good. We're gonna sit in this car all night.
And so we didn't have to. The tires did not blow.
Most High did his thing like always.
He did his thing because the road was a rock road. It was just a rocky road through the park. And so we get back to the gate.
Wait. How was the gate when we got there?
The gate was locked.
Hold on, y'all. They locked us in the national park.
Locked us in the park.
And all the people from the tour guide section.
And the office workers.
They done, look, everything is off. They done left. First of all, the tour guide was still with us. They didn't call to check on him. They knew we were in the park and they still left. So now the game wardens from the night shift are there. They weren't the ones who opened the gate for us earlier. They're looking at us like, what are you doing in there?
Yes, and we forgot to tell you guys, when we went down the road that had the boulders blocking it, we actually ended up getting a phone signal.
Yes.
And so we were able to call the office and tell them, hey, we need directions out of the park. They said,
because the tour guide didn't know how to get out.
So they're like, okay, we're gonna send somebody.
Nobody came. They went home.
They went home. Nobody came. So when we get back to the gate, it's locked. So the game wardens, they're there. And so now they questioning us because they think we're poachers.
Right. Like, what are you doing in here? And we're like, we got a tour guide with us. And so they start questioning the tour guide. They got guns and everything out. They're questioning us. They want to look through the car. We're like, bro, really?
So finally, we drive on the outside, but they don't allow us to leave the park. All of us have to get out the car and everything. They're questioning us. We're trying to explain to them everything that happens, that we have a receipt from going into the park. And so finally, after maybe about 20 minutes or so, they let us go. So we go to get back in the car.
And who comes swaggering on over to the car? The tour guide. And he goes, they all left me. Can y'all give me a ride home?
Y'all. Like, look, we are not lying about anything that happened. This whole trip to Moshi was just unbelievable. I just could not believe all this was happening.
Yeah, I mean, we saw beautiful things. We learned some amazing history, learned some amazing things about the Chaga tribe.
Yes.
And man, it was just amazing. But there was just some stuff that had us scratching our head like.
But scratching your head, I was terrified. Like, I was terrified just about my whole time there and had to keep calming myself.
You weren't too terrified. You tried to jump out the car and leave me.
Because I was terrified of flying off a mountain. But see, he was joking the whole time about the national park. He was like, it'll just be our luck. What'd you say? A giraffe will start chasing us or an elephant will start chasing us. Like, I don't know which one I prefer. Being locked in the park. Or if we would have gotten chased by a giraffe. Like, it was just an emotional roller coaster for me. I had good times and then I had stuff that happens and something good. And so I was just like a wreck, y'all. And at this point, after we dropped the tour guide home or whatever, we just like, well, I'm like, I am so ready to get back home. I don't know what to do. But then I thought, dang, the nephew is driving and he drives real fast. And so then I was like, all right, I got in the car and I'm like, Most High, please, I just want to go to sleep. Because I don't want to see how fast he drives. I don't want to feel how fast he drives. I just want to go to sleep, wake up, and be at my house.
Did he do it?
No. So I was awake for a good portion of the ride.
But we made it back.
We made it back.
We're still here to bring y'all great content. So
yes, thank you for getting us here safely. Tanzanians drive faster than anybody I have ever seen in the world.
And aggressive.
But obviously they know what they're doing because there are not a lot of accidents.
Right.
So that was our trip to Moshi.
Yes.
You guys got the good and then you got the terrifying. And so I'm so thankful to the Most High for saving our life in Moshi multiple times. And I'm thankful to be back home, y'all. I'm thankful to be back on flat ground, and I do not want to see a mountain no time soon.
So we are grown.
Don't play with me.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to our crazy story of what happened in Moshi. And y'all just keep watching for more great footage. We got some more things to put out to show you guys of our time here in Tanzania, Africa. All right, family. Shalom.